We are live.
It has begun.
Yep. So if you go to the stream, Marian, you will see that the webcam is super laggy. And this is how technology works. It works, but then all of a sudden it doesn't work. It just doesn't wanna. For some reason. I don't know why. I just gave up. I gave up, everyone. Let's see who comes online. I mean, so far it's okay.
Funny that you have the Oblivion NPC music in the background.
What did you say?
It's funny that you have the Oblivion NPC music in the background.
Yeah, it's awesome. I like the music.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's too loud, but people will let us know. Okay, putting the stream here. Yeah, so you have headphones. I will have to get some headphones as well, because it doesn't work. There you go. That works. Hey, Torsten. Torsten with an H. Let's lower. Marian?
Yep.
Everybody, I think we might have a little bit of an annoying echo. And my webcam right now, it's very weird. It worked perfectly fine. And then I started using Discord and now it's working like shit. I even restarted the computer, still doesn't want to work. I gave up. And someone said like, oh, your streams are so well put together. Oh my God. I have moments when I'm just losing my mind. Nothing wants to work ever properly and smoothly. Alright. So, Marian, you know what I want to do today?
What?
Well, today is gonna be the day when no, I'm just joking. I was actually thinking of working on the iPad today. I think that can be very fun since, for example, Torsten, he got an iPad and they're becoming quite popular. I went to an Apple store to buy like a charger and it's so much technology coming out and most people has one, so they can easily get Procreate if they want it, for example. Hey Arif, welcome to the stream. So I managed to get a program and connect my iPad to the computer. Unfortunately, right now, like I said, you guys might hear a bit of an echo with my friend Marian, the almighty Marian. That was not cool that you saw that notification, but what can you do? What else did I want to say? Yeah, so I need headphones. I have no headphones in the studio right now. I will get some other time. No echo at the moment, that's very good. I have Marian quite on low.
Yeah, I'm not really speaking. So.
No, you're not really speaking yet, but wait until we're gonna get into this. So Mariana
I'm sending people the stream link.
Okay. One thing I noticed that when you speak, Rode does get to you. I can see the yeah.
Maybe I should speak.
No, you should speak normal. Don't I have
Okay.
any headphones in here? Wait a second, I have an idea. Marianne, say something.
Like what? What do you want to say?
Okay, this is good. Now I've put up the Bose and I put it on the other side with the hopes that the computer won't capture it. So just say one more thing a bit.
Like what?
Okay, this is much better. Nice. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We're doing it. So the Bose is on the other side of the room, almost.
Okay.
Even more here. Yeah, so I can hear it's like someone else is talking. So now the Rode is not picking it up. Say something.
Like what? What do you want to say?
Okay, this is perfect. Banish the Bose. I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm really trying all the time to make the streams as smooth as I can, but yeah, I love the t-shirt. It's from my friend Miles Johnston, the almighty Miles, or the person like I call them, the guru artist. So here's my plan, Marian. Today we're gonna talk about a little bit the basic of art, and I'm gonna do a barg on the iPad. And I want us to be very efficient at explaining what's very important when it comes to doing a barg, since people will be doing them on their own. And nowadays everybody has, like I said at the beginning of the stream, an iPad, and they're very easy to be used. The picture you guys are seeing on the stream, this is, I'm not gonna turn into a man. I'm still gonna remain a woman, I guess. We'll see if I'm gonna wanna do that one day. I doubt it. But anyways, I wish this was me right now. This is one of my favorite artists. His name is Sorolla. It's written like Sorolla. I will write it in the chat. I think it's with 2 L's. So this is my dream, is to just paint big and just paint. That's basically what I want to do. But of course, the question is what to paint, and I'm not gonna say that, but Marian, can you please read this thing on the screen right now?
On the screen?
I have this quote that I found online. I really liked it. I really liked it. So it's basically like this. The purpose of art is to produce thinking. The secret is not, and listen here, Marian, the secret is not the mechanics or technical skill that create art, but the process of introspection and different levels of contemplation that generate it. Once you learn to embrace this process, your creative potential is limitless. So I was wondering where it says the secret is not mechanics or technical skills. And if you think about what we do, it's quite based off skill to be able to represent this vision of ours, right?
I mean, I partly agree with the quote, but I partly don't. Because in order to convey things that are readable, right? Like if we're talking about introspection processes, in order to convey that to other people, you have to pretty much have to be a little bit technically, I don't know, able, right? You have to know how to use the language, the visual language, to really transmit what your thoughts on things are.
I think your brain is quite slow because in general you give a lot of like sophisticated answers when it comes to this because, you know, whatever. So,
I mean, I think this is incomplete. The purpose of art is to produce thinking. Yes, it is. The secret is not the mechanics or technical skills that create art. Yeah, that's also true. But at the same time, you need that to be able to convey a convincing, I don't know, image, something that other people can relate to.
yeah.
and
I
not
mean,
only the elites, because the cultural elites will always relate to weird things that, I don't know, they look too much to be entertained, to be intellectually masturbated. So they will look for more niche, unique things. But most of us regular folk, we don't usually look for that. We look more for things that are relatable.
mm,
And you need skill to produce things that are relatable. But that doesn't necessarily mean that if you have skill, you're also a great artist. I mean,
but that's what I wanted to go to. I've seen
yeah,
amazing artwork from people that has, self-taught and not as skillful as whatever people comes out of Central Academy and all these schools.
yeah,
Because what I
yeah,
see in general at Central Academy, for example, Florence and stuff like that, it's beautifully painted. I agree. It's wonderful. Technically speaking, it's mesmerizing. Um, but for example, that video you sent me on YouTube about more than it is. You remember the
yeah,
last video? I sent it also to Torsten. I
yeah,
put it on my
yeah,
Patreon. It was more than just painting a pretty face, let's
yeah,
just say it.
yeah, I agree.
And I truly believe that nowadays, most painters don't really do that. Let's say Desiderio has more thought to it, and Odd Nedrum, for example, as well. I think even even young artists, for example, like you, Miles, me, and other people that are more into this, let's say, illustrative part of art. Sure, I might be a little bit illustrative because this is what some people told me about my artwork. That's very illustrative, which was very interesting. So today, if we can go back to why we're doing this stream, I want to talk about that technical part about art. It's not that, oh, I want to do something to, as a subject. Oh, I need to draw about death. No, we're not going to get into that. I want to teach people on how to be able to do those kind of things. And the beginning starts with this little profile faces that you guys are seeing on the screen. This is after a plate made by Charles Barg. I think it's from the, what was it, Marianne? 1800s to something like that, was it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's 19th century.
So what I tell students when we start the courses, that everything you look at, from faces to trees to clouds, there's no such things as clouds, as trees, as faces. Everything is abstract. So let's go, for example, to my art gallery, and let's just look at some paintings. Let's say this painting by Richard Schmidt. Let's just take it like that. If we really zoom in and we look at this image, everything is very visually, let's say, almost abstract painting. You can just pick one part of the picture like this and people will be like, what is this? So my point is that as artists, we are really prone to seeing the world in a more not specifically simple in that way, but more design-wise, more visual. And I like what Richard Schmidt said: don't paint what you see it is, don't paint what you know it is, paint what you see it is. So for example, if you're painting an ear, and you know it's an ear, but the light affects the visual of an ear, it distorts it because the ear can be more in shadow. So you don't really see the specific ear. You just see specific shapes that comes forward because of the light, and the other ones are more in the dark, which kind of becomes a bit flatter because things in shadows, they tend to be a bit more flat and not too high in contrast like things in the light, for example. Let's take another one. John Singer Sargent. I mean, look how simplified these shapes are. Of course, some people might say, like, if they only see this painting, they'll go like, what is this? This is just an abstract artist. But we're talking about a visual order of things, as most artists say. Like, I got most of my vocabulary from Imbransson, for example, but a lot of educated artists think in this way. Visual order, or designing specific shapes and creating a focus area for the viewer to look at the first time they see the painting. High contrast attracts the eye more than softer edges and stuff like that. So if you look at the face, there's some general lines in her face that kind of keeps you there. Like the nose is quite soft, but if you look at the silhouette, mostly in the part of the shadow shape, it has a specific sharpness to it that keeps the eye in the light part more than in the shadow part. Things like this we're gonna work around. But let's go back to Procreate. So a lot of people, when they get an iPad, they can buy something called Procreate. And of course you need one of the Apple Pens, and then the rest is just you playing around with it. If you guys remember when I was talking about everything, when you draw, it has to do with vertical and horizontals. I mean, if you look at, let's say, this drawing here, so there's two lines, vertical and horizontal, and then there's another line that shows more of an angle. Sorry, that's the boat outside. So let's just draw a bark and see where we go with it. And let's pick up the most, the usual one I always pick, which is this one. I always pick this one up. It's the most fun to do, I think. So Torsten, I suggest you pick this one up. So let's say that at the beginning, you're gonna do it the same size. You don't need to make it bigger or smaller. Just keep it simple and draw the same size. The same size means like you're basically, let's say, the eye. There's a specific shape over there. So if I just sketch it out visually very fast, maybe you will start seeing it. Like very, very fast. There you go. So this is one shape. And the key about doing art, you need to not be afraid to make mistakes. And this is one reason I like working on an iPad. Because I notice a lot of people, when they get a new sketchbook, they don't draw on it. Because they buy a sketchbook, aka Moleskine, and they don't want to draw on it because it's like 20 euros or 15 euros. And I'm like, get some, you know, notepad paper or whatever you call it, and just draw on the, you know, the math paper, so you don't feel like you're wasting paper.
Yeah, I think it's like 20 euros nowadays.
Yeah, it's getting more expensive. And then I see the students that don't sketch, let's say they don't sketch at all. And then they want to start sketching, and the first sketchbook they get is a Moleskine. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Just get the cheapest paper you can get.
I mean, you can get a Moleskine too, but...
I mean, Moleskines are amazing, but they're quite expensive. And I remember I did the same mistake when I was a student. I actually just bought, what do you call it, a Moleskine. And I was so terrified of working. So right now, I'm just doing if, let's say I was a beginner. So this is just me being a beginner right now. I'm just diving into it and just doodling it. So I started from the eye and I'm just spreading. But we're gonna make it simpler for you guys to actually be able to learn. And this is one reason I wanted Marian to be here, because he has a very easy way of explaining on how to focus on the basic before you go into something very intuitive, let's just say. Because when you begin, your intuition, not intuition. How can you explain it? Very
Hey,
simple, Marian.
Georgiana.
Marian, how would you explain it? Super simple. When you start as a beginner, when you start with art, the difference between intuition, let's just say, what you know that you have to, how should I put it in words?
I mean, are you talking about like things that you have to learn, or
Yeah,
how
like for
you
example,
are?
here's me, a new student. Let's say that
Okay.
I've never drawn before. You give me a
Okay.
bark to draw. And for example, right
Okay.
now, this bark that I'm drawing, it's not specific at all. But let's say that this
Yeah.
is me as a beginner.
Yeah.
And what I tell students sometimes is that I need to break you down pretty much. Take away that intuition a little bit. We're gonna work with it, but I want you to be more conscious of what you're actually doing.
I don't think you're taking away the intuition, because the intuition is not built yet.
Then
Because the
what
thing
word
is,
should we
you
use?
you need to build up the intuition. Like intuition is something, is like a mechanism that pretty much is based on experience. So if you have no previous experience, there is no intuition there. It's just you trying new things, or
Okay, so how can we
habits that
explain
you
it?
developed in other fields that manifest in that field.
Then how can we explain it a little bit? Like as a beginner, you have a student that just started courses with you, and you have to explain to him why.
Okay, the way you train your intuition is by thinking about the process and understanding the process you're doing. And some people do that better visually, some people do it better verbally. So more rationally. You have to kind of approach different people different ways, pretty much. Does that answer the question, or?
I guess so. It does. It does. Of course, it's more complicated because we are using a visual language, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how to put it in words. I'm trying to get used to the
The
iPad.
concepts can be broken down in, I mean, you can pretty much, you can put them in words as well. So it's not like, even though it's visual, you can still describe what you see quite efficiently. And you can describe the processes that we use to compose or to think about what we're doing. But at the same time, in order to be able to teach, you have to kind of be quite self-critical and quite, I don't know, analyzing yourself quite a lot.
Yeah. I mean, what
Especially
I
in
know.
order to teach what you know, because of course you can teach what
I mean,
other things, books.
let's say that there's a student going to schools like, let's take the expensive one, Grand Central Academy, right?
Yeah.
And then the teacher has to explain to them why they have to go through this process of understanding the fundamentals before they do what the last year students do. So you pretty much answered that, of course. So I'm just gonna take this bark to a certain level because the iPad has something wonderful called, I think you call it replay. This is one reason I love teaching people time-lapse replay. So when I'm done with it, we're gonna explain a little bit of what the hell has happened and what the hell is happening right now. Ah! There you go. I don't want this to take too long.
Georgiana said hello, by the way, and you didn't answer.
Ugh, Georgiana. Buona fatta. I hope you're okay and it's not burning hot in Romania right now. But you see, Torsten, that right
Pretty
now
hot.
One second, Marianne. So Torsten, right now, what I did at the beginning, let's just go here so I can explain it. So I started with the eye, you see, very roughly. This is just me going for it. We will explain a little bit on how we teach students to go to what I just did right now. So you see, I just went for it. Basically started with the eye and do. What I did is basically adding all those mistakes down, because I always tell students mistakes are a blessing because it helps you see what's wrong. You can't just presume things too fast. Of course, this exercise people do at the beginning of their school courses at the ateliers they pick, because it's usually this one all the time. Most school starts with the bark plates. I don't know where I was trying to go with it. Let's see. Bună fata, e cald de mor, să nu vii aici. Nah, I will stay in Sweden. Sweden is great. Anders, yes, this is the bark that we always
Hello,
play
Anders.
with. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna continue working a little bit on it, then leave it, then me and Marian, o să am nevoie de ajutorul tău aici, vorbesc serios, ajutor. We're really gonna try to show you guys what we do with the beginners. Alright, so let's just continue for a while. So, again, sorry, Torsten, Anders as well, because you also have an iPad. What you see on the screen is pretty much what I see on my iPad. And this is how I want you guys to work with it. To train yourself to see visual, simple shapes, and that's it. And we also got to talk about something, because English, in the language English, you have something called shape and form. In my language, shape doesn't really exist as a word, right, Marianne?
Yeah.
In Swedish as well. I don't know in German.
We pretty much use forma for both meanings, and it's super weird.
Yes, because shape is two-dimensional, 2D, very flat, almost like a square. Let's say that the square is just a shape. As soon as you add value to it, like a light source to it, it's starting to take form. So it's a form. So this is something very important to understand, the difference between the two, because right now the bark is just simple shapes. There's no volume to it in that way, even though if you look at it, it has specific soft edges like around the eyebrow and in the mustache, and that's something we call edge design to describe a specific form, but it's still simplified in a more simple visual look to it. So let's not go too much. Let's just, oh, damn it, I moved the, by the way, just try to not move it too much. Just try to have it as same size as you can, because you are gonna see the difference. So what I'm trying to do is basically translate this edge here exactly as I'm seeing it in the reference. So all of this that I'm looking at right now visually has a certain edge quality to it, of course, like this line here is more curved. Then here, if you go here, this angle here is sharper because it's more aggressive. But let me have my fun, because I'm going too deep and I'm not there yet. Can I have a form? Hey, Fetch. I really wonder who Fetch Art is. Torsten, so can I have a form in my head at this point? What do you think, Marian? I mean, it's inevitable because we only see forms. We have to know how to simplify them to be able to create them in shapes, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's best as a beginner to only try to see the world as much as you can in shapes, and try to discard the notion of value. Because in the beginning, when you establish, when you're trying to get more accurate, it's more efficient to pursue you know, seeing shapes than to pursue anything else, really. Like seeing shapes accurately. Because pretty much everything we see is made out of shapes. Those shapes have different values and different edges, like a variety of edges. I hope
So
that answers the question.
yeah, I mean, when I'm outside on the subway, I only see abstraction. Like literally, you start losing your mind a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's easier to memorize as well. The more you see shape-wise and you simplify it, the more you have an ability of creating a visual library in your head. So you become more accommodating with simplification rather than having so much information, because there's a lot of, like, even a small little detail can be considered a shape, just so you guys know. And that small little detail has a certain proportion in the bigger shape that you want to draw. And that little shape needs to be put in its right place to be able to build a specific visual image that you're either seeing or creating from your imagination. Fetch. It feels like I know you somehow. We will get there, Torsten. We will. Or maybe I should just stop and do that now, Marian. What do you think? I think they got the drift of what I'm doing right now, or maybe not.
Someone is writing that there's an echo.
There's an echo.
Yeah.
I don't see it. Is it higher up in the chat? I don't see it in the chat. It might capture you a little bit. I will lower you a little bit. Hopefully I can still hear it on the other side. Victor! Yeah, wait. Yes, you're from Germany, right? I'm thinking about the right Victor? Yes! Now I know. Now I know. Hey! It's good to see you. I know with the echo I need to get headphones. I thought that I could get away from it. Because we were speaking to a friend once through Discord and there was no echo, funny enough. But I never done it on live stream. So as soon as I get out of here, when I come back, I don't know exactly, I will get headphones. Victor, Torsten is also from Germany. I guess you guys have something in common. Torsten, Victor is an artist himself, a very good illustrator. And also the thing with all of these bark drawings and stuff like that, I think it's fun doing things on iPad, but it's different when you do it with pencil. I can actually tell you that I feel it. Yeah. It's not the same as when you do it with physical medium. So I noticed that I need to move the mouth. It's not really lining up correctly with the eye. I need to move this line a little bit more. So you see, it's basically I'm carving the shapes, funny enough. I should have warmed up before the live stream, but I had to learn how to do taxes.
Joe said that there's a bit of an echo when I talk, but your voice sounds fine.
Yeah,
so it's the thing with the
echo, everyone. I don't have headphones. So the Rode is picking up the sound. And I'm deeply sorry about that. Do I have some Wait, I might have headphones. Wait. Where's the... I remember having some headphones somewhere. Oi. They look so bad. They're falling apart, these ones. Okay, let's try to use these ones. And hopefully the echo will be gone. There. Oh no. Okay, it's still working. Why is it not working? The headphones are not working, everyone. Why are they working?
Have you tried connecting them to the Bose?
It doesn't have that.
It does have a jack.
No. I'm not talking about the microphone. I have the Rode on. And the Bose is a wireless one. But why?
Yeah, but it has a jack.
No, it doesn't have a jack, the Bose.
Okay. Okay.
Nope. Doesn't. I don't know why the headphones are not working. So, how is it now, everyone? Marianne, can you talk a bit? Marianne?
Yeah, someone said this sounds better.
Really?
Yeah. Torsten said maybe don't change anything, it's fine.
Well, they have a little bit of a lag until it reaches them.
Yeah. Adelina said it sounds like the echo disappeared.
Okay, Adelina. I mean, you guys see that my video with me is laggy. It worked perfectly fine before. All of a sudden, it just doesn't work. Okay, let's hope this works. Focus. Let's go back to this. And hopefully the echo is not too much. Okay. I will look into some headphones. Because I was hoping that when I was doing things with Wilhelm, because we want to invite people on Discord. So if that's the case, I think I will need headphones, so we don't have the echo. I will look into that. Now, go back here. I love what Georgiana said, and Georgiana, we're gonna get into that. I wish I heard the shape form explanation earlier. Most of the time I've been told look more, but never how to see. We will get there. Just let me warm up a little bit with this one, and I have an idea of how to explain it. The thing is that what you need to do is understand that each shape, you can sculpt it. So you saw me erasing it, redoing it, erase it and redoing it. The purpose is to just place it in the right area based off everything. So right now, for example, my drawing, the nose is really low in comparison to the other one. Like my drawing looks like he's looking down while the other one looks forward. And this has to do with the way I'm drawing the shapes and how specific I am with each angle. So let's just take a new layer and I can explain a little bit. So we have the vertical line and then we have the horizontal line. Here we have a 90-degree angle. And this is what I see when I draw things. It's very weird. This one here, you can just take it. No, not you. You go back. Go back. This one. There you go. You take this one, and let's say you go here. So for example, we have this little point, and then you pick this point here, right? So as soon as you do that, you start seeing this angle, and that angle forms a certain degree there. This is how I see angles and how I become very specific, because in portraiture, specific shapes are so crucial if you want to make it look like that person. If you're not specific with your shapes, I don't know, maybe you just want to influence yourself from the model, or you're doing a caricature. I truly believe that a very good caricature artist is brilliant, because you need to exaggerate specific shapes to create whatever you call this kind of visual caricature image. So it still needs to feel like that person. So there's very few good caricature artists out there. Really few, I believe. Okay, so let's pick another one. So let's take away the red one. We have that one selected. And let's go, let's say, here. Again, you have the red dot. And let's say that you have this line here. And somewhere over here, the angle shifts. And based off that, oleu, parcă nu știu să fac o linie dreaptă. So, and so. So this is what I'm looking at. Donc. And then I continue. Again, here. Another angle. So 90 degree here, and I want to see this one. There you go. So everything I do is based off that 90 degree angle. And of course we have a curvature line. So how do you deal with that, Theo? Well, it's quite simple. Let's just redraw it a little bit better.
Joke.
I know that Georgiana is also like a 3D artist, so she will understand what I mean. This line here looks very smooth and very nice, right? But we want to see exactly the simplification of this curve line. Yeah, triangles, cos, sin, tan. Yes, I actually have to admit, I love geometry a lot. So what I do when I do this, and of course, we will talk about the proportions of the reason I have Marianne on the stream right now. Was Wilhelm on the stream? Did Wilhelm write in the chat or something? I think it was Wilhelm.
I have been here for a while. I've literally been here. I was 8 minutes late to the stream. You just started. Marianne had this great, what is that called? He was talking and I was like, okay, I'll be quiet, and then I'll be quiet for the rest. Thought you guys heard me come in.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
I didn't.
Okay. No, I've been muted because I've been like, okay, I'll let you guys talk.
Yeah, I mean, you can be here, it's not a problem. And if you see something that I'm missing, mostly when we start the bargain, the whatever, educational way, and if you see something that I'm missing, just tell me.
Yeah, sure, okay. No.
Okay, now, let's say that we want to understand this shape. I can actually take this one here. Can I do it? Send a copy, and can I, let's save image. Because we're gonna, do it. We're gonna take the original one, put it in Procreate and analyze it more. But we can do it via our drawing, just so you guys can see. Okay, enough talk. So again, this point here, let's take red. This point here versus this point here. So what you need to see, what you need to do is try to find one more point that can help you with understanding the curvature of this whole line. And usually I tell students is the highest point. So I know that if you look at this shape here, this one is not very specifically put on a vertical line. It has a bit of a tilt, which kind of complicates it a little bit, so bear with me a bit. What I do is this. Again, a straight line to this point. Okay, I find the middle, this is all done visually, I'm not joking. I find the middle of this line, which is presumably around here. I drag a straight line, oh my God. This is so funny. Let's say that that's like that, straight line, 90 degrees. And then I find a little point here. And then I break that one again, like that. Find the middle of it, 90 degrees. And I find points that can help me see how complex this curved line is. This one is pretty straight, but this one here is not. You see this little hill? It's so pixelated right now. This little hill. The highest point on this line here, this one, is somewhere around, let's say here, because right now the line is not really nicely drawn. Let's go here. The same thing. Where am I using the pencil? I should use technical pen. Nope. I need like a inking. Yeah, this is better. So again, find the middle, 90 degrees. Look at that. Look how much more curvature and space we have here in the white part of the shape. And then this one is flatter. So this one is flatter. And then this one here is more curvy. Do you guys understand what I'm seeing when I do this? Yeah, that's one reason I said that Georgiana, my Romanian friend, will understand what I'm doing, because it's, I tell students, if you can do a sculpting course or even a 3D course, it can help you so much with simplifying high polymorph, very complex curves and seeing them more simple in more angular shapes, because the more angular you look at things, the more you see exactly where the line curves, either being soft or very sharpy curve, I call it. Yeah, you can sculpt this in Illustrator, but we're talking about more complexity when it comes to using your own hands and a pencil. That makes it more harder. In a software program on the computer, of course, it's easier to do these things. You can also trace the drawing if you want, which makes it even easier, but nobody wants to talk about that. Anyways, let's continue. So yes, this is basically what I do. So I'm gonna stop sketching this one and we're gonna go into how to actually start this type of drawing. And I think I have an idea of how to make it easier for you guys. So we're gonna close this and we're gonna use this one. Mariana, are you ready for this?
Yes.
You were born ready, right?
Yeah. No, I was drawing, so I was a bit. But I'm ready. I mean, what you've showed so far is pretty much.
But now we're gonna
one of
show
the
them
most
how to start.
essential tools when it comes to drawing accurately.
Okay.
So, triangulation is one of the best tools for beginners to pick up. Sorry, I'm a bit stupid today and slow.
Oh,
Oh, nay.
I know. Yeah. Okay, so everyone that has Procreate, you saw what I did. I just inserted a new photo. So if you want to practice let's say that you don't want to draw with pencil on paper, or you're on a holiday and you have your iPad with you. Sometimes this happens to me. I just have my iPad and I don't have a sketchbook. So I just draw on the iPad, big deal. Anyways, so I have the original bark on the left side. If you are a left-handed, put it on the right side, because, you know, we love lefties as well, not only righties. Well, the thing is, when you're on your own and you're trying to learn on your own, it's a bit more complicated. Like, you don't know exactly when to stop. That's one reason having a teacher is good, because he or she pushes you more.
Sorry for interrupting you, Theo. I don't think it's a good idea to recommend lefties to put it on their right side, the plate. And it's because when we usually copy, it doesn't really matter which hand you're using. What matters is the way we're reading things, and we're taught how to read from left to right. So it's easier to compare that way than if you put the object on the right side.
I have a student at school that's a left person, and she wants the subject on her left more than the right, so I was wondering about that.
Yeah, I think it's better to have it on the left. It's easier to read, and also, like, most of your decisions should be taken from like 2 meters back, so it doesn't really matter if you're up close when you're doing things, right?
Yeah, I mean, with the tablet you can do this to zoom in and out. When you do it traditionally, it's always good to back up while you're drawing, so you can see both of your subject almost
exactly
equal size, let's just say it, because it's easier to compare in that way. Okay. Talking about bars, I will need to do a demo when I go to school. Fun times. Okay, so
Pete asked, how long do you recommend one works on a bark?
well, that's what I was trying to explain, because it is kind of hard to really say how long. For example, the one that we're drawing right now, it takes around 1 week for a student to finish it. And there's a reason why it takes such a long time. Is because you're introduced to a method, you're trying to understand all of these shape ideas and how to see the right angle and place it in the right proportional place in relationship to the whole and stuff like that. So we we tell students that the first plate, which is the simplified profile portraits that you're seeing, they usually take not 1 week, but 5 days, working week days. And then the second plate, which is more complex, can take around 10 days. Then more complex plate with also value variations can take also 20 to 30 days, I don't know. No, 30 days? 15 to like a whole month.
I don't know, my second plate took me like 2 months, so it depends a lot on...
Yeah, depends on your mind as well and what other demons you have in it.
Yeah, and how accurate you want to get it.
Exactly. Hey Axel, welcome to the Kappa zone.
Hey, Axel.
What did you say, Marianne?
I said, hey, Axel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Ande, she were coming here at the studio like, I don't know, 1 or 2 times per week. And when you take a long break from your artwork, and this is one reason I hate traveling when I have an artwork that I need to work on, you lose focus. I always tell people, it's like with me when I started drawing this plate right now, I wasn't warmed up. When you go to the gym, you don't start lifting or deadlifting instantly the highest kilograms you can deadlift, right? You start by warming up. It's the same thing with art. So I had some students, very impatient students, and they were going directly into their barks. And I stopped them. I was like, no, 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 before you go into your bark, because you're pushing with a pencil, you're getting a lot of ghosting, you're getting frustrated because your mind is racing. You just had a cup of coffee and you have a lot of energy. For 30 minutes, just sketch something else on the side. release all of those demons, calm down a bit, and then you can go back to your main project. So I tell students that as well, because it's a lot about each person's chaos, let's just say it like that. And then me as a teacher, I need to see people as individual as I can, because this is the difference about teaching art versus teaching math. Art is a little bit more based off emotion, funny enough. You can be very like this, but then your artwork can be quite emotionless. I've seen this as well, which is very interesting, and this is something we can talk about some other time. Yeah, it's a demon. So I'm gonna do something. Usually we tell students to pick their middle when they do their first bark. So either they pick it here. Oh my god, that doesn't show as much. I need a bigger pencil. Studio pen. Ugh, this is a horrible pen. Ugh. Whatever. We tell students to either pick it here, or some students pick it here as well. So one reason you need the middle is because you need to tell yourself, Marianne, why do we pick the middle? Can you explain this? Do you do this with your students where you pick the middle?
Yes. Yes, but not everyone does that. It's quite. It's
Can you
good
explain?
to have easy to identify point in the middle of a subject or anything that you would like to draw. If you are able to identify properly, you can start from that and relate everything else to it. So I guess that's why it's useful to pick a middle in the beginning.
Well, for example, we have something called a plumb line. I think I will need to do a barg traditionally one day. It comes more natural to me than doing it on an iPad, of course. But trust me, knowing this tool is great. Okay, so let's say that this is the middle of our drawing. And based off this, we can find specific points that we can visually see. But before we go into this, we're gonna talk about something called the envelope or lay-in. Marianne, how would you explain the envelope? I have my notes here as well.
You mean layout, right?
Yeah, the envelope. Wait a second. Okay, this is what the envelope is. The envelope. Okay. Though just a simple abstract shape, it conveys the fine information that can be used in drawing. My god, this is so bad. I need to show you guys the drawing if I want to explain this.
Yeah, it's more of a visual thing, so you have to correlate what we're talking about with the...
Yeah, true. Okay, I will show you what the envelope is. Let's make it more simple. I'm trying to think about it more as in marble rather than clay. But I will have to cut some shapes. Here you go. So the envelope is pretty much, let's say that you need to move this beautiful sculpture and you need to build up a box for it to be able to send it to whoever bought it. You need to make sure that it fits that box, and you need specific points. Of course, there will be some points that will almost touch the, you know, like they're the most extreme points on either the vertical or the horizontal. So it's basically, it's like locking in your subject, or what I call it, laying it in. You can be more specific and think about it as a silhouette. It's mostly the borders of a specific shape you're looking at. But to simplify it, you think about it a little bit more primitive. And then you start carving it, or like I told Marianne, depending on what you're choosing, either you're working with clay or with marble. With clay, you can add. With marble, good luck with that. You need to carve into the negative shapes that you want to carve into to be able to define a specific something that you're sculpting, for example. Like I said, if you ever sculpted before or you work with 3D, you will understand what I mean.
I think the difference is like on clay you add material and on marble you take. But at the same time, there's a bunch of tricks in marble as well that would make it behave more like this.
Let's not
Like
get
for
into the technique
example,
on how to work with marble.
what?
Let's not get into the technique on how to work with marble.
Oh, okay.
It's just a way for them to understand visually how to kind of.
But with this is more similar to clay working because you're kind of like adding things. You're not really removing things. I guess when you're starting to correct the shapes, that's when it's more like carving it out. But before that is just adding things on top of each other.
I have a very good image that I can show so people will understand, but let me see. Not here. It's such a visual way of starting a drawing. I mean, I don't really start in that way because I've built my intuition, let's just say it. This is also another artist that I really like, a very good teacher, I think, Stephen Bauman. He has a Patreon and he's really into his Patreon. If you guys really want to go for it, he's the person to choose when it comes to online teaching.
Yeah, he's pretty much
really
the best
good
out there.
Yeah, but not really an envelope here either.
I think he skipped that step in that demo that you showed.
It's such an
But I
important thing to understand.
I think he had it
Yeah.
in the beginning.
Yeah, but it's like so crucial. Because I remember when you gave that master copy to Wilhelm to do, that envelope changed everything for him because it's such a fast thing. The thing with the envelope, it can take up to, let's say that the lifespan of a drawing is 100 minutes. An envelope can take 40 to 50 seconds. I'm not joking. That's how fast it is.
Yeah, what I really liked about like the envelope, it made so much sense from like in my head I always call it like a ballpark, right? Because your first lines are very rarely gonna be rarely gonna be right. So you're like, okay, within this envelope, within this ballpark, that's where I'm gonna have my drawing, right?
Yeah.
And how do you, like, you keep working, I want to say inwards, but you know,
I know, I think Wilhelm, when I come back from Skåne, we should have a live stream where I do it traditionally. And
Yeah, I think so as well. I think it would be better suited for this.
Yeah.
You know, we can set it in the back room because it would be nice to do like after a sculpture that I have with charcoal. And yeah, when I come back, we're gonna set up the stream in the back room because I will need to place the sculpture so I can actually do it from live rather than from photos.
What would be really cool is if we both actually would do it from different angles and we could see, I was gonna say me failing at it, but me being like, if we set it up in the middle and then with two easels on separate sides.
Oh, that would be so much fun. Yeah.
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 That sounds really good.
Hmm.
Torsten, envelope seems like optimization. You want to wrap your present with as little paper or strings as possible. Yes, this is such a good
Yeah.
description of it.
Yeah. That's a really
Yeah.
good description.
Very good description. Yeah, imagine like you're taking and you keep wrapping it and wrapping it until you get the silhouette and you get almost every angle of the silhouette, but you start quite angular. And then you push those angles in more and more and more until it settles down on a specific silhouette or a border, the borderline of a specific shape. Let's just say like that.
Hmm.
My God, Torsten. There you go. The envelope
Yeah.
has been described.
There's so many comparisons that
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, it's like more.
So for example, let's just say, and the thing with the envelope, this is one thing that Robert Liberace told me a long time ago. Oh, he didn't tell me personally. He said it in a video. How do you know what's wrong when you're not putting the mistakes down? So the envelope, it's a good way for it to, the more you do it, the more you start knowing the mistakes in advance. So you become more accurate. Even though when you place the line and you feel confident in it, you will notice the more you progress from big shapes to smaller shapes, you will start seeing what's wrong and you will change it before you even put, let's say, another line next to it. But this comes with a lot of experience, so it's not like, woof, gata, I know everything. So it takes a bit of time. Alright, so for example, I'm doing an envelope. Just an idea. Now I'll try to explain it a little bit. This is one reason ow, god damn it. There, okay. So for example, I'm just doing a general idea of it. And this is something interesting. I just remembered, Marianne. We were talking about it in relationship to the middle line. And I think we talked that it's best to put the middle line after you actually do the envelope, right?
Yes.
Because I remember when I was critiquing a student and they instantly put that damn line in the middle, like mostly when they were doing figure poses. And funny enough, for example, I will just sketch it very fast here on the side. So they had like a sitting pose, right? Something like this. So when they were going into the model room, their paper layout was something like this. And some of the students, they were having the middle of the line already placed. And I told everyone to just stop doing it because you don't know how the model will truly be. So stop doing it. So they were having this. And of course, the first figure they get is a standing pose. So with the standing pose, the middle line goes through like the eye, the nose, or belly button, I don't know, each straight line. So they started making the head here, which means that the legs were getting out of the paper, right? So before you even do this, and I think now you will understand the envelope. You're starting to see these points here. You're starting to see a little bit of the angle of this one here. So it's becoming a little bit more of a visual thing. You start seeing, this point here versus this point. Look at it. This is more to the right, this is more to the left, based off, again, this, the 90 degrees. So the more you think about it geometrically speaking, the more you will know how to lay in your subject. You know a little bit of the angles, the turnings. And then while you're having this, then you can start, like Torsten said, you keep wrapping it. You place a little bit of the line of the shoulder, the other line of the leg here. You get an idea of the head, and you keep working, and you place them, mathematically speaking, in the correct equation. So I think we're getting somewhere right now. I'm warmed up. My brain is starting to remember things. And this is pretty good because I'm gonna be teaching next week on Monday. So what do you think, everyone? Hello?
Pretty well explained.
Well, thank you. I try. Let's do another example. Let's say that we have Hui! Meh. I'm just drawing someone doing like an extreme pose, right? Something like this. So then you go like, okay, this is easy peasy. You have your paper. For example, illustrators. When I do an illustration for Piper, I have a very specific layout of the composition, and I need to compose within that paper. So my visual interpretation is quite limited to only that layout. So I need to know how to place my subject. That's one reason I like calling it lay-in rather than envelope, but both of them are good to explain anyways. So it's the same thing. I have the top, presumably the top is here, and the bottom is here. So now we're doing the blue colors are basically me doing a visual visual analyze of what I'm seeing. On the vertical, these points are the extreme ones. On the horizontal, you have this one on the right. And then the question is, this is when in real life you will use something called a plumb line, which is pretty much like a metal thing like this. And you have a string attached to it. And then if this is the paper and your subject is over here, you will hold your plumb line and it falls straight on. But you, fuck. Sorry, this will make more sense. Bear with me. So let's draw the hand again. And this one. So what you will do is, so you go with the plumb line on the verticals. Let's do it like this. Zoom in on my weird illustrated stuff. And then you kind of get an idea of where things are at. You see which is the point that is further to the left, which point is further to the right. You can do it on the horizontal as well, but you need to know how to keep that measuring stick, which is pretty much a barbecue stick, for example, but make sure that it's extremely straight and doesn't have bend.
So I think those things for like, cum îi zice, crochetat.
You know, guys, when you crochet and you make cute little... Wilhelm, how the hell do you call that?
Crochet. Isn't that a word? Isn't that the word when you?
Is it crochet?
No, I don't think so.
It's the word in Swedish.
I don't think in English it's a thing.
Crochet. You know crochet, guys. Yeah. Just trying to fake it.
Yeah.
What would a?
Yeah, the thing with the pencil, Torsten, the pencil is too thick. So you want as thin as you can. So I use this, you know, when you crochet and you make cute little socks for your baby toys. I don't know what the hell you have at home. And it's like a metal thing that's very straight and very nice. And that one you can actually use to, once you kind of have the perception of the 90-degree angle, look at me doing all of this jujitsu stuff, then you can actually curve a little bit, like you take the measurements, you look at your subject and you kind of move the pencil and you kind of get an idea of like, it's like a 17.1 degrees on the left side, you know, you get very picky with it. Georgiana, yet I rarely hear about observation and how important it is to read your references and project them into your work. I mean, Georgiana, you saw how I was at the beginning of the live stream. Marianne as well. We were quite foggy. It's because this is so impregnated in the back of our heads that has become more of a subconscious conversation with it. Subconscious? Yeah. Like it's not really direct in front, because there's that saying, forget everything you learn and just paint, because you want that voice to come through. You've gained the skills, you understand the foundations, and now you can just go and kick ass, pretty much. You know, you can paint abstract if you want, and you might do the most intense abstract shape anyone have ever seen. I don't know. God knows what you can do. So this is something that we have to show people that has never drawn before. Because we get students that has drawn before, which in my opinion are the hardest to teach. Because they already have a perception of how to draw. And they're so comfortable and fucking stubborn that you need to find tactful ways to bring them back. And this is one reason I tell students, don't forget why you came here and what's inside here, of course, because you know what you want to paint, I presume, because that's one reason you came to the school, to kind of learn something, to be able to create something visually based off what you're seeing at this type of schools, right? It's realistic, it's not really abstract. So then you work around that. And yeah, I think people that drawn before are the hardest to critique, definitely. But I think you can force them to relearn if you're very specific on what you're telling them and how you phrase it to convince them that they have something to push more in themselves. And that's the hardest thing about being a teacher. Chew bubblegum. Put that bubblegum out, and then you take it out. You put it on the back side of the table. Okay, let's go back to our little figurine over here. He's feeling a bit sad. So for example, let's say that this is our little hand, right? Look at my little hand. Not very straight, but oh, look at that. Look at it. And my plumb line is not even straight. So the point that's the furthest to the left is the pelvis side of his body. And this is, my dear children, is how you find the specific points on vertical and horizontal, which is more left, which is more right. Thank you very much. This was it. Kapat zone logging off. God. All right. So we have this one. So I got an idea of where all the points are. We have this point here is the furthest out on the left side. So that means that this is more to the right. So then I can start looking and visually see a bit the middle line, because why the fuck not? I can actually do that. Mic drop. So, for example, visually again, because this is the thing, we're visual artists. This is when you can have a straight line, just so you can see the halves of things, you know, the left half, the right half. And when I draw something, I think Marianne noticed this about me, because he has a way of analyzing people. It's kind of creepy though. But you get an idea about that, Marianne. I don't know if you heard what I said.
I did.
Oh, Wilhelm, when we're done with all of this, we need to tell the people that the thing... Stai o secundă ca să-mi vină un pic cuvintele în cap. Marianne, when we moved and we went to order McDonald's with the car.
Oh my god,
Oh,
yeah. That story, you haven't told me that. You said you were gonna...
We will talk about it when we're done with this, because it's hilarious.
Oh my god.
Okay. Going back to this.
A little bit my fault as well.
No, it wasn't your fault. I wanted McDonald's. There's a reason why I'm strong. Okay, cool. So for example, let's see. I think it's somewhere around there. So then I have an idea of how to place my subject, because I did my analysis of it, right? So now I'm gonna try visually, or even when you start sketching, before you add your first line, you can just put some points. Just get an idea. Feel it. Feel the vibration, you know? Look at this. This, right? This. Come on, here. This is one reason I told my students, everything is mathematical when you look at things. And that's something I absolutely love about art. Mostly when I started understanding it and reading more terminology and understand what I'm doing, because Marianne told me that I'm very intuitive in a way, but if I manage somehow to clean up my head and be more specific and understand specific steps, it will help me improve my art. And that was right. The more I started thinking of what I'm drawing and analyzing things more before I started drawing, I've improved so much more. Not only technical, because also we will talk about this some other times when it comes to designing shapes and stuff, not shapes, redesigning, let's just say, but still keep to a realistic side of things, if I can say like that, but become your own god and inspire from life, let's just say. If you look at John Singer Sargent, he had a way of putting a bit of a caricature to the portrait he was doing. If you look at most paintings done nowadays by artists, since we're very influenced by photography, it's a little bit different than how they used to do it back in the old days, where they had more of this kind of romantic side of things, because they were working more from life, the model was moving, so they were adding a bit from them. Let's just say it like that. It's nothing wrong, I work from photos, god damn it, but I'm just saying that there's a difference between the two. And that's like my opinion, man. Okay. Vasile just likes people very much, and that is cute. That's fucking creepy, Georgiana. You know what he was doing? He was going around Stockholm with his camera lying by his chest, and when he was walking, he was just clicking the camera. And we were like, the fuck? That was really fun. I started doing that too.
People on the streets.
Yeah, but
Yep.
that's what most photojournalists do. I mean, it's not like you want to be seen when you're photographing in a crowd. So you want to be as subtle as possible. And it's also to get those genuine raw emotions. Or...
Fucking freak.
of people in their natural habitat.
Yeah. Yeah. That seems about right.
You have to pretty much be sneaky.
Cool. See them in their raw state. Oh my-
Yes,
oh my
exactly.
God. Yeah.
You agree, Wilhelm, right?
Mm-hmm. No, I know what you mean. I just wouldn't say it as creepy. It's like you're a paparazzi or something. It's like I just wanted to see my ex-girlfriend's natural emotions. I sneaked into her house.
No, but I didn't do that to people I know.
Yeah, that's one reason he
we
took
know.
photos of me while I was
That's even-
sleeping.
That's even creepier.
Photos when you were sleeping.
Yes,
yeah.
I was
Just
sleeping,
wanted
and
to
then
see her natural serenity, so I
It was a good photo, too.
it was a good photo, but fucking hell, man, that's fucking creepy.
Oh, did you really do that?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was a very good photo. So what can I say?
Fair enough.
So you guys see what I'm doing and how many times I'm altering the lines. And at the point, by the way, you can actually erase the envelope. You don't really need to have it constantly there. That's just for the placement of your subject. And then you just have to keep trusting your, funny enough, intuition and keep building it. So it's like I'm drawing the abstract shapes again, and it was so easy for me to just draw it from the heart, let's just say like that, than when I'm copying it right now, because I need to be specific to make it look like the character again. And this is one reason illustrators are amazing. Now I can actually, I should have put the line. Let's say that I'm gonna put the straight line down. And this straight line, for example, we usually tell students to just take it away and don't have it all the time. Sometimes I'm more of a mean teacher and I tell students that at this point, mostly when you start rendering, I think it's time for you to take the middle line away. Some teachers are so picky about it. I'm like, whatever, just bring it back. But I don't know if that's gonna help you. It's just gonna make you stagnate. So there's a specific person that I like. I know she wants to get a castle one day. And because of her supreme intelligence, she sees so many mistakes. And sometimes it feels like being cursed with seeing too much makes you stagnate a bit too much. It's so hard to explain without sounding like, well, Theo, weren't you speaking about being specific with the shapes?
But isn't it about like you move and you keep changing, but you keep
Yeah.
moving forward? Like you don't really get stuck on stuff. You change as you go. If that makes sense.
Yeah. You
Right.
have to kind of let it go at the point and just find ways to recreate music by still keeping it close to the original, but having it like your tune, if you understand what I mean. It still has an artistic quality to it. It's still beautiful, but it has something that's more from you. But Theo, weren't you speaking that you need to be specific with portraits? Yeah, you have to be specific with portraits as well, but it's kind of complicated. This is one reason I always tell people, you can fake your portfolio if you want to, but as an artist, you can fake it if you use a projector, but the end result pretty much speaks for itself. It's raw, it's there, you're looking at it, the pencil glows. Or then we invent some kind of weird robot that kind of does the pencil work and then we're fucked, but I'm not gonna go into that subject. I mean, Torsten, it's all up to you and what you want. I mean, sometimes leaving some shapes flat and simple, like if you look at Marianne's work, in the shadow shapes, he's pretty much flat and simple. It's not like he overdoes the details in the lights. He still has interesting contrast to keep the eye wherever he wants it to be. And then in the shadows, he has a way of designing more, like I said, simple, flat shadows. Because in the shadow, we don't see as many details as we see in lights, because the light is stronger and takes over more than the shadow parts does. Of course, it depends on where you're focusing. So then the question is like, how do I create a piece of artwork that's not over-modeled? That's something that we can take some other time, because that's a very complex thing to talk about, and we need to have examples to be able to make you guys understand what's over-model and what's not over-model. And sometimes it has to do with what you like. I mean, if you like photorealism, my dude, just go for it. You just need to have patience and draw everything you see. It's kind of easy, actually, but again, you need that patience to do it. I find it quite boring. I like to be a bit expressive and add a bit from myself. But Theo, you're saying that you're adding. Weren't you talking about accuracy? My God, yes, I understand. Marianne, help me out.
I think accuracy is good in the beginning, and we're still using things from it. I mean,
Yeah.
There's still things that, but the further you go on, you have to learn how to simplify things and
Yeah.
simplify them in a personal way. And why do I believe it's important to simplify things in a personal way? It's because that's how you pretty much develop a style, and that's how you pretty much develop your own visual language.
Yeah.
But it's also before that you have to go through the bargs, starting like start to think more abstractly, because in the beginning you don't really think abstractly, you think literally. So you're gonna try to draw exactly what you see, but you don't really know how to approach it. But then the more you learn about abstraction and the fact that you're pretty much copying abstract shapes and piecing them together and giving them different properties, then the more you'll be interested in making your own abstract shape. Because if
Yeah.
you look at the bark plate that you had earlier, that one is also quite abstract. It's not really how the cast that Charles Barg was seeing looked like. So he changed it a little bit. He made it more, I don't know, beautiful in his own way and simpler than what he saw. And the reason was just to show what was considered back then good design and easy to understand process, pretty much. And yeah, the shapes and the bargs are quite elegant, quite well designed. So I think it's a good start when it comes to abstraction. Yeah, I hope that answered the question or cleared things up. I don't even remember what we were talking about.
I know. It's a lot to talk about, but I think it's like Wilhelm said, we will need to do this with raw materials, I guess, and explain it a bit. I mean, you can do it with digital, but digital always has, in my opinion, a different feeling to it. And I'm
Oh
not.
wait, Georgiana wrote something.
Oh, how come I
I
don't see what
didn't
she
even.
wrote?
I
Is it
didn't
the
even
one
know.
where you sent her a picture when she was in 9th grade?
Yeah.
You're a fucking creepy ass dude, man. In my defense, that picture was not actually was taken by me.
Nice.
No, but just to provide more context, I was photographing people in the how do you call it, in the courtyard of my high school,
Oh.
and we were in the same high school. And it was at the end of the year before the
Still
final
fucking creepy, yo.
exams. Fuck off.
Oh, wow, a pretty girl with curly hair. Click, click, click. And then you send it later on to her. Oh, I photographed you when you were in the 9th grade. You were pretty cute. Oh my god, that's creepy.
That's a very fucked up way of seeing it, but okay.
Yeah, I know. But what can you do?
What can you do?
Nothing, I guess.
So you see the previous one, when I started drawing it, I was very specific. I started with the eye and all of that. Now I'm taking it more cubic almost. So I started with a general big envelope. And then I looked at the forehead and the nose because the middle line goes through this point here, this one. So from there, I started to spread outwards a little bit visually again. So the easiest way to see it is to, this will sound a bit contra to what I said. You always start with the big shapes and you go for the smaller shapes. But when you find that little point that you put it somewhere in the middle of your safe, como se que
Are you talking about the reference point?
Yes, thank you, reference
Okay.
point. That's the one. So you're making this little point here, not 100% accurate, but it can be a guideline to see how all the shapes kind of spread from it because it's very close to the middle of this envelope shape. So again, it's a tactful way to just simplify things for you a bit. Yeah, you missed it. Torsten explained very well why. I can look through.
Because it pretty much envelops the subject
Okay,
in a very efficient way.
he said, envelope seems like optimization. You want to wrap your present with as little paper or string as possible. And from there, you just keep enveloping it until you get like this figurine, just envelope with paper, and you can see each little angle at the point as well. So you just start small and you keep pressing the paper until you find the silhouette of whatever you're wrapping. That's Torsten's idea of an envelope. Like I'm doing it even now. Funny enough, with every shape I do, I kind of think about the envelope. At this stage, I'm actually sketching while I'm keeping my lines quite angular. So one thing I tell students, the first sketch that you do or whatever you do, try to keep it a bit more angular. Of course, not like this. You have a little bit of a design to your line work. And again, I need to do this traditionally so you guys understand what I mean. Digitally, it's kind of hard to really do it in that way because there's no really pressure flow in that way as you get it in real life. So, yeah. So for example, this line that I'm doing right now, this is visually because it's hard for me to show you guys while you're not really seeing the drawing. So what I'm doing with this line, I'm doing it here. So I try to understand where this point is. So with my eyes, I move from this point down here, up and down to it. And I start getting a feeling of where this point will be in relationship to the reference point. It's very playful, if you think about it. So right now, I presume that that point is over there. And I keep sketching, and I can see that I need to move the point a little bit higher. The way I drew this line here is not correct in relationship to that line over there. So mistakes keeps coming while I keep not wrapping, either adding or taking away the clay from my subject. So here you go, something like that. So we had this, just so you guys can see what we've been talking about. And then the process is the same. For example, let's see how we will sketch only the eye. So if I will do it again, I will start with the general shape of it, see the extreme sides of the points, and then gently start. It almost looks like a bird. Be very playful when you do this. For example, this is a bird, right? You can look at it like that.
Bird is the word.
Huh?
Oh yeah, that does look a lot like a bird,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
This looks like a weird cat.
Oh, I'm so interested to see what looks like a cat. The stream is a bit...
You see it?
Yeah.
I think that's a bit far stretched, isn't it?
Ah,
But yeah.
fuck you.
It is a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, just be playful. It's your
looks
world.
like a
You're the
mole.
one seeing the shapes and going crazy.
It looks more like how do you call it? That little thing with spikes on its back.
Oh, yeah.
Hedgehog.
Hedgehog, yeah, exactly.
You see it the way you want to see it.
It does look like a hedgehog that is looking towards the left.
Oh, yeah. Looks like a toad from Mario, yeah.
Yeah. Or that.
You guys are funny.
You guys are funny. I see you didn't like my cat.
So the war begins.
Yeah.
I never did this barg. This barg seems like a lot of fun to do, actually.
I think I've done it so many times by now. You should
Yeah, me
memorize
too.
it.
Oh, this was your first bargs? you
No,
guys?
I do it for like when I do the demos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I did the Dante barg. That's my first one.
By the way, the bargs, they're on the
Dante.
Patreon drive. If you guys want to reach them fast, they're over there. If you want access to it, join my Patreon.
That's www.patreon.com/capatart.
Oh, if you enjoyed the stream, don't forget you can always donate via my PayPal. One-time donation only. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so here you go. I drew the eye by just starting again like very rough with a envelope. Let's draw the beard as well. So we have it. Let's just draw the whole of it. I'm getting used to the digital media as well. Marian, Vasile, entertain the people while I
Yes.
draw a bit.
How?
I don't know, just say your
They
creepy
can't
stories.
even see me. I would strip live.
How long did your bargs take? You said your first one took 5 days?
Who are you asking, Theo or me?
You.
My first one took 2 days, but I got signed off on the third day.
Mm.
My second one took 2 months, and my third one took 3 weeks.
Oh. Damn.
So I think there was a learning curve in my second one. But I
Mm.
also had to, not really had to, but I wanted to start it over after like a week and a half in.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, everyone has that barg that they work a bit longer on. Mine was the second one as well, I think.
How long have you worked on it?
I worked. Well, let's see. The first one was a week, I think. The second one was, I think, 2 months as well. Actually, I think it was maybe even 2.5 months. And they did sort of like because I struggled so much with it, they did like a pity sign off.
Okay.
Like they felt like I was a bit too behind. Too
I had a
behind.
bunch of those. I think most people do.
Yeah. And then the third one, I picked the barg, and then they were like, no, you shouldn't pick this one, and then they picked one for me, and I did really good on that one. I think that one took a month or something, and it was my best barg.
Yeah, I was actually the last in my class.
I was the last in my class as well.
But then I became first after.
Well,
after
I became
finished
first
the-
as well after, if this is a contest.
I was the last in my class, and I was always the last in my class.
What do you mean?
No, so what happened was I was the last, and then I started becoming faster than some people, and then all the people quit in my class, and suddenly I was last again, and then and then there's only 3 people remaining. I was the third one. It's like
Yeah.
so I became the last one.
I mean, there were a bunch of people that quit in my class as well.
Hmm.
think there were like 3 or 4. No, actually 4.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
not
yeah.
for everyone, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of mine quit after their first year. I think that's when a lot of people quit.
Yeah.
You can always be the first if it's only you in the class.
Yeah, that was my goal, Torsten. I wanted everyone to leave, so I would be the first. That was the only way.
Yeah, but I wasn't really like I was the first for a while, and then William took over, and then yeah, it wasn't really like. Yeah, my second bark really kind of like slowed me down. Because after that one, I was quite efficient and fast. Until my third cast, which wasn't really that I didn't know what to do about it. I was just super lazy at that point. And that's another thing that, as a teacher, you're not allowed to tell your students, apparently nowadays, that they're lazy.
What? How dare
Because
you?
apparently it
Really?
demotivates them, but
Are we really going there? You know how pissed off I get at this something porcării astea?
yeah. No, I get pissed off as well. It's just I believe these things to be stupid.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow,
I'm
Daryl,
quite
you're
lazy
so
as well.
talented. Ah, the things you do. My God, the amount of hours and work we've put into this and all the stress and sometimes you get so demotivated and you need to like crunch your teeth. You go to bed and then you can't sleep because you constantly think about your artwork.
Is this
Me
like this
having a
is-
meltdown.
Yeah. But you can't you tell your students that they should work more or work harder,
Well,
right? That should be allowed. That's allowed, right?
I don't know.
Because isn't that just like, oh, you should work more and more like on this, or isn't that like more like?
I
Yeah,
mean,
I
you
don't know.
should, and I do that to some people. With some of them, it does have an effect. So some of them do.
Pay attention and
Hmm.
work more, but some of them are just, don't give a shit.
Yeah. But it's only gonna damage them in the long run as well.
well,
Then
not
at
if
the-
they're Swedish.
Yeah.
They just take a loan and then whatever.
They have to pay
Yeah.
back the loan.
Yeah, still.
That's what a lot of Swedes seem to not understand, and I wish they knew.
Yeah, but they
that
have enough
loans
time to
you
like
pay
find a
back.
job and all that shit.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways that you can escape paying that loan,
Yeah.
actually, Wilhelm.
Oh yeah. I
So
mean,
it's not really like.
But yeah, but that's why I would agree more with the scholarship system that would reward the people who are dedicated and
Yeah.
say fuck off to
the people that aren't. And also, if you want to be lazy, do it on your own money. Like, I mean, if you pay and you're lazy, none of my business. I can't really do anything about it. And I was at a point, in that space where, that mental space where I used to think like, oh, but teachers should be able to motivate students, right?
Mm.
But some students are unmotivated. How do you call it? Like you can't really approach them from any direction.
Mm.
Like it doesn't matter how many, I don't know, shots you give them. It's just. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it's yeah, it is a bit but it's like I've said this before, I know, and it's like one of the like people need a bit more oh, what's that called? I forgot the word now, but it's basically people need to be a bit more accountable for
Yeah.
their own actions. Because it's like if you don't, if you're lazy, instead of being like I should work harder, like I should work harder, I should do this and this, or just being like, oh, I am lazy, I should change that, or just like um, instead they blame it on on like the teachers, which is
Me! It's my
yeah,
fault for being a
they
dumb
blame it
bitch.
on, but and
Yeah.
it and that is such an issue because it's like I mean
But in
this
some
is gonna
cases, it is the teacher's fault as well.
yeah. I mean the thing is it is it could be the reason like the teacher's fault definitely, right?
Yeah.
Um, but it's I feel a lot of people use that as an excuse um to for their lack of work or for the lack
Yeah.
of hours they put in, and it's
Yeah,
like yeah, it
I
could
agree.
be the teacher's fault definitely, but it's like the fact that they have to hold themselves accountable to some degree regardless, right? um
Yeah, but that's a problem with pretty much most of the newer generation, is that
hmm.
they don't want to be held accountable for anything, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's not to offend anyone on the stream, but
I feel
it's
so offended. Fucking misogynist man.
what what?
What? I am offended. I
I'm
am the
always
younger
offended.
generation. I am offended.
I will explain some stuff. I just wanted to get a little bit of things in here.
But also teaching can go quite wrong as well. So, like teachers can be underprepared and be quite, I don't know, I'll give you the critique and I'll leave, not actually making sure that you understand what I'm saying or talking about.
Do you understand the words that are
So-
coming out of my mouth? No, I understand what you mean.
Yeah, but there's a lot of teachers like that, and that's a problem as well. So you can't really, as
Omar,
much
is
as I
that
would
you?
like to blame it only on the students, there are quite a lot of teachers like that as well.
Yeah, the teachers and the students need to be on the same level. That's, well, the teacher should be above all the students. It is Omar!
Yeah.
Hello, Omar! Hope you're good, my man.
Who's that?
Omar!
Oh, hey Omar.
Oh. Hello.
Is Omar Mr. D? Or...
Yeah. You remember that you talked to him once on, I think it was Discord.
Yeah, I remember. I'm not that forgetful. Yeah, we
Okay.
actually had a stream.
with him online.
Let's talk a
Ooh,
little bit about my
cool.
drawing. Now you guys can shut up. Shut up for a while and let me just say this, and then you guys can continue talking. So
Okay.
at this stage, I have... Let's see if we can actually see the video. It's gonna show from the beginning, so we're gonna go a bit forward. So we started by understanding a specific envelope, right? Let's see. No, unde duci, mă? Prea în spate. Așa. Very simple, right? Just an idea of the envelope. Then we added the middle line after the envelope, after we understood the abstraction. You guys can already see it on the screen how off the envelope is, but it's a beginning. So don't be afraid if you're doing it wrong all the way to the end. But we will try to follow some specific guidelines. So middle, and then I started blocking in. Stai mă, oprește. I started blocking in. You see how angular? Let's go a bit. Everything is quite angular. It's not really rounded in that way. I'm drawing the eye a little bit again, so we can go back. Look, here's where I started drawing the eye. Look how simple the shape is. And then I started cutting from it and adding to it, just based off an idea of that envelope. This is me changing it, and I will explain some stuff after this. Okay, now, if we look at my drawing, there's some error mistakes. And this is what Marianne talked about, the reference point. My reference point in general, I always tell people that you're on a battlefield and you're making a tactic on how to win the war. I think art is kind of like that. That's one reason I always tell people to find ways to enjoy each step of the way, from the beginning to the end of the artwork. The end is the end result, you're done with it. But until then, you need to find ways to enjoy each process. So when it becomes frustrating, you need to find ways to make it fun. Otherwise, you have a mental breakdown like I usually have, and then poor Wilhelm has to deal with it. Right, Vil?
So true. Yes.
Yes.
Happens every time.
1 second, Omar. Just let me finish this, and then we can get back into the funsies. So, for me, scuse, wait 1 second. My reference point is, let's take the jagged brush. No stai. Drawing, painting, artistic, ink. There you are. Done. Here, I've chosen somewhere around here, but you can also have more than just one reference point. I can also pick this one. To be honest, if I would truly kind of go for one reference point, it will actually be this one here. There's a reason why. It's the outside silhouette of this profile. So this one here is much more crucial than this one here that's inside. That's just me and the way I think. So for example, the distance from this point here to this point here, there's some shapes in between it. The distance from here to here, and then the distance from here to here. So this is one reason I want you guys to do it the same size and right next to each other, right next to the original. Because what you want to develop is for you to see the smallest extra distance or not enough distance between two shapes and stuff like that. Like, for example, look at this angle over here, where the eye is. My angle is straighter, on a much straighter line, than the original that's more tilted to its, depending on which point you're picking. Let's say that you're picking the up point. The lower point is going more to the left side, while the other one that I drew is too straight. It doesn't have that curve. And this is one reason it's good to have a teacher, because, boy, Mataluka, here, you made this one too angular. You need to make it straighter. Oh, that angle over there, that point in relation to that point is too big. You know, the distance is too big. So then the teacher tells you that you're not doing that part correctly, that this is good. Try to mimic more the line quality you've done here, or you don't know how to draw a line properly. I will show you how to draw and how to use the pencil. When it comes to digital, because this is something that I need to talk to Torsten about, digital has something like this. You have thousands of brushes, you can customize them, you can make all kind of things with it. So you need to find brushes that works, that can give you the result of the original, let's say approximate of the original. The ones that I usually like to work with is pretty much, I don't get the effect I want, but for example, the acrylic brush here and the flat brush, these ones I tend to use them all the time. But for a line drawing like this, it's a bit challenging because it's such a small line, and to really get this roughness that you're seeing in the original here, you need to find the appropriate brush. But the purpose of the iPad is not to get really pretty drawing. It's for you guys to just get the concept of it and just practice simple shapes, or even, you know, you pick a reference of a cartoon character. And this sounds a bit funny, but weird. Cartoon characters are based off simple shapes. Like, let's say one of my favorite characters is Courage the Cowardly Dog, right? So you can go and pick on the internet, you can do that now and I can show you what I mean. Oops. Boop. How the hell do you save this? I don't know how to do it. I need a picture. For God's sakes. Why? Why? Why is the iPad so hard? I want Windows. Please let me save this picture. Oh, God damn you. I have an easier way to do this. There you go. Sometimes you have to do in a different way to
It's
make
such
it work.
design can like that design is so nice.
I
Like,
know,
part of
but
it,
I
like,
really
so
want to
good at
show
it.
people what I mean. Oh no, not like this. Wait. There.
Took me so long to realize his name was Courage because I only
Really?
watched the Swedish dub of it. And he's named something different.
So, I don't know. I'm just gonna be very, very fast. I will need to get better with this program. There you go. So let's say that you have a homework where you need to just draw courage. Let's say that I will take the technical pen. And of course, when you look at illustrators, they have a different way of approaching things. They have like the head, and then they add. They're much more looser and sketchier in a faster way than doing it in the envelope. But it's already their creation, so they can go instantly in those shapes. So, yeah. My God, I've never drew courage. This is actually fun. So you see, I'm quite angular. And a lot of people will be like, oh, why is that so hard? Well, you try it, and then we talk. Why are you guys laughing?
It's so passive aggressive. It's like, well, you
Yes.
try it and then we'll talk.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody talk like they know what they're talking about. Like I have some people that critiques my art like they've done something like this before, and when I ask them, have you ever painted before? No, I haven't. Okay, then why should I listen? No, I'm just joking. I listen to some people that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. What's so interesting, right? And because I hung out with my cousin and some other people, and it's so fun to see him look through artists because he looks through so quickly that it's like years and years of artwork in the span of like 10-15 seconds, and you're like, oh my god. I had a moment where I was like, there's years and years of work you're looking through.
Yeah.
And then like, oh, the work differs quite a bit. And it's like, yeah, because it's like 5 years between the first and the second, the first and the last one. Like, yeah, whatever.
Oh, but I don't appreciate that lack of consistency.
Yeah. Hold up. My cousin is a lovely guy. But I mean, that is what most people do. I mean, it's interesting though to see more like people actually do look through that quickly. I'm trying to save myself here, in case he is watching.
He's already plotting how to murder you.
Yeah. No, he's a cool guy. He was better at art than me for like most of my life, and then I studied at an atelier school at Sarah, and then he's still better than me. No, but
Oh, I know, Omar. I've been reading your text. I haven't had time to draw for a long ass time, but I should have more time available to me very soon to draw again. I guess you're plotting something right now, Omar. Yeah.
Omar is plotting.
It's like I'm so fortunate right now. Like everybody's just supporting me like there's no tomorrow. So thank you.
Yeah.
Do I need to continue on this one? Do you guys want to continue? Because I think we talked about a lot of things.
What was your point with courage?
With courage?
The cowardly dog? Why did you?
My point is that it's the same concept, that everything is just shapes. So you start with a
Oh.
general envelope and then you keep adding to that. And then you find the specific shapes, the specific design that is courage. And you work around that. You start learning how he's being built. So then you can start reinventing him or draw him again in a different angle.
You can also see. Like most cartoon characters are based on simple shapes. Like in general, like you can see how Courage body is like a bean shape, and then you got the circle for the part of the head, and then it's like a.
Ugh, now we have the animator talking. I'm just joking.
I'm not an animator.
Okay, Torsten, I think I'm gonna use my jagged brush. My flat brush. No,
Your
jag brush.
jagged
It
brush.
is called jag brush.
It is. Oh, it
And
is
I'm-
called Jag Brush.
Yeah, it is. So we're gonna use this one because this one has a little bit of a flow to it.
That's a good point, Torsten, though. I feel like if you want to teach young kids, because I feel like when I was a kid, I would love to be able to draw my favorite cartoon characters. And that could be a way, if you want to indoctrinate your kids into art,
Wow.
then you can just, oh, here's a picture. Try and draw Courage, the Cowardly Dog. Or something. It's genius.
I think the wet acrylic. I'm gonna try the wet acrylic until I find something. So this is what I mean, Torsten. You need to play a little bit with the brushes until you find something. Let's see if this one is the one. So I'm just gonna dim down the lines. We can talk about how digital artist works. It is a little bit of this. They have a sketch underneath, then they make a new layer, and they dim down that layer to like an opacity of -50%, and then they redraw the line on top of that. Take example Henrik. He's a comic book artist, but he found a way to create this kind of ink brushes that gives this feeling of real ink. I don't know. Huh?
That gives the feeling of ink brushes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start again. Fresh and see how we can make it look a little bit prettier.
One more time.
And it feels like this is going very fast, but wait, if this was real pencil, like we talked about how long it took, 1 week, a month. So these ones do take a lot of time. So don't try to finish them in 1 hour. Try to put like 2 hours or 3 hours in them.
Make it as accurate as possible.
Yeah. And this is one reason when Omar was saying that he's trying to find time, you really need time to do this.
But I mean, you can also do it in oh well, that maybe that doesn't really work. I was thinking like you set aside like an hour or like 30 minutes a day or something. But it takes a while to get into it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
issue. So you can't really just.
And then you go
do it
to
like that.
work,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
you're
yeah.
tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see right now, you see this shape here. So what I'm doing, I'm trying to compare this shape here. You can almost see it like a weird little lizard.
Lizard.
Like that.
Oh, cute.
So I
Yeah.
see the head. And then I try to kind of see it in here. Am I getting that whatever lizard that I'm seeing? So it's all about being playful. And I'm not joking, it's so playful.
So what do you mean with like playful? Being like loose.
When you're a kid, you have a much stronger imagination. So the more you see the shapes as being something, it's easier to identify the specificity of those shapes. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one reason I say be playful, because it needs to be a fun process as well. Otherwise, what's the point of doing it? And there's a lot of students that becomes so technical that they start hating the very thing that they loved so much. That's one reason freelance work or commission work that you pretty much don't want to do can almost destroy your soul, because it's so hard to constantly be creative. It's not... Some people can do it, like Henry can do it, some Eileen. I've met people that are so efficient in doing stuff that gives them some pleasure, let's just say like that. But you know, every job has the have some kind of bad sides to it as well. You can't constantly love the same thing. It becomes very repetitive. I'm not sure how to put it in words, but I think people can relate. It's not only with art, it's with everything in life. Programming, driving around, and you know, you have to find ways to make it enjoyable so you can actually continue to do it till the end of your life. Otherwise, it's gonna be hard. Or you win the lottery, you have a lot of money, and then you can take holidays whenever you want. You go out, you buy some nice ice cream, you chill for a while, you look at the clouds for like 3 hours, and you don't give a damn about what's gonna happen next month. You know, stuff like that.
And eventually you'll be bored, and then you'll try and find stuff to do with the money.
You know, blame society for all of your boredom. So you can go there as well, make it more fun and appealing, you know? Feel the urge
Start a
of
blog.
wanting to fight for something. No politics!
Yes.
I like how this was just like a monologue.
Oh yeah, I always have a monologue with myself while I draw.
Yeah, it's great because then you can like zone out, and at the end of the day you can like come back and be like, oh.
Marianne, what are you saying?
What?
Say something. Talk to me.
Yeah, I was just focusing on the drawing.
Because it's
So I have a
Quite.
bit of a gripe. Can I rant a small bit? It's not about politics.
Yeah, go rant. Say something, it's
Yeah.
fine.
So I noticed there is a person on who I'm not gonna name by name on Instagram, and I've been really following this. I find it so curious, right? Because this person has a very interesting marketing strategy. I mean, it's very passive aggressive, and a bit weird because so this person posts something, and then she does a story where it's like, oh, why aren't more people like liking this post? Why is it not getting? Why do people not love this? Blah blah blah, right? And you're like, okay, fair enough. You can blame the algorithm and stuff like that, and you can be displeased with that if you want to.
Stop. I know who you're talking about, and it's not okay.
What?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's just like, yeah.
Oh my god, do you know? Can you write in the live stream team, please? There are probably a lot of people do that, but this is like one of the first times I've seen someone do that, like continuously being a bit. And
You
I mean,
will see how much of a wizard I am right now.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
if you're right, I tried to, anyways, this person, to get to the point, like this person,
I wrote it in the chat.
okay,
I
I'm
think,
looking at it.
yeah.
Oh, actually, no, actually not. It's
Don't forget, we're still on stream.
yeah, but I'm writing it secretly, sneakily, because this person is a really cool and nice person. And I don't know them
Okay.
personally, by the way. But
Okay.
I forgot how to spell this. Anyways, I'll post it afterwards. But this person started to be like posting stuff like, "Why are people not buying this thing? I really like it," and is starting to do like stories of that. And I'm like, I feel like it's a bit weird to
Good luck finding people that can support you if you do that. Nobody's
But
gonna support you.
it feels. I mean, I get her point. I mean, it's like, okay, I made something that I really like, but why does no one want to buy it? And it's like, well, I mean, saying, like,
I don't get her point.
you don't.
No, I don't.
Okay. Go.
Like, how the fuck will I decide what you're gonna buy? Like, I don't
Sorry,
even
I have to
know
take
you,
this.
right?
That is a good point, isn't it?
It's like,
That is a very good point, isn't it?
it's my job to convince you through my work, but if I'm not able to, then it's on me.
Yeah.
If my work is not convincing enough, I mean, we can talk about reach, and maybe sometimes the reach of a good piece is not that great, so maybe that affects the perceived quality of the piece, but that doesn't necessarily, like, people are not obligated or, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know, forced to buy your art or to like your art.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm gonna see what. Yeah, but it's also this because it's like, oh, we can talk about this so much more off stream, but it's like it's that thing of like, oh, why aren't people buying my stuff that makes me sad? And it's like almost like guilt tripping and trying to be like, you have made me sad. Please buy my stuff. And I'm
yeah.
like, no one is obligated to buy your stuff. People will buy your stuff if they think, like, if they want to. It's like free choice.
Yeah.
Right. And it's so weird. It's such a weird thing to be like, why aren't you buying my stuff? Please buy my stuff. It's like,
Just find something else to do if you're not selling work.
yeah,
At least for a while until you get better. I mean,
Yeah.
find something else to do that will probably make you better at your work as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
So try to find, I
You
don't know,
need to
some
be honest
commissions.
about what you do. People feels it when you don't do what you truly are meant to do. It's so interesting how it works.
Yeah, I don't think it's only that. I think it's also Instagram being shit with the algorithm and doing bad work. I mean, I've done tons of bad work and I posted it on Instagram and people weren't liking it.
yeah,
And I didn't complain about it. I mean,
yeah,
I was pretty much aware that it was bad work, shit work. And it wasn't how do you call it, genuine or anything like that, but it was just, not interesting, right? I mean, it's the same with portraits. If you do a more dramatic portrait, it will have more reach than if you do a study. And yeah,
yeah.
it has a lot to do with the meaning of the content. And of course, you can always, complain about, oh, but why is this abstract piece getting so much reach and I'm not getting any? Because that's a better brand than you are.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good way.
You can't really compare. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a better piece, but it's a better brand.
The artwork should speak for itself and sell itself if you want that. Same for music, no need for visual information. That's
I
kind
think
of
that's
true.
80% true,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because artworks usually don't really sell themselves. It's more like artists sell themselves. So it's
Mm.
more like, and I'm talking in general terms.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
most collectors don't really invest in a piece that they like. They invest in artists and personalities that they like.
Mm.
If they are collecting by the, how do you call it, with the genuine interest in collecting and not speculating or investing in art, because
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
a completely different animal. There are completely different reasons for doing that.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But usually those collectors have a different behavior as well. They tend to, you know, promote that art a lot more to get a better return on their investment.
Yeah.
But I don't think we have to deal with those kind of people at the level we're at.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I don't even need those people.
Yeah.
what?
I don't even want those people.
Yeah, I don't want them either.
I prefer the way it is right now.
Now
Yeah.
they're gonna seek you out. They're gonna be like, "Oh, she doesn't want us. Ooh, let's ruin her day."
Yeah, let's ruin her life.
So you see,
Yeah.
I made a little bit of some notes in here. You see how much things has slowed down. I'm taking each shape at a time because proportionally things are in the right area. We didn't really talk about comparative measurements because it's not really, wait, we can talk about it a bit so you can understand because I'm doing it visually in my head, but it's important to also say. So for example, there's always going to be a distance from here to here, right? In relationship to the distance from here to, let's say, the eye. So you have, again, the original versus this. So I'm doing everything visually in my head. You can see that the line on my drawing is tilting, like the furthest point up is tilting too much onto the left side. If you move your eyes back, remember, if you move your eyes back and forth really, really fast, you will start seeing an animation. As soon as you feel that animation, something is not right. The shapes are a little bit in the wrong place. So that's one reason you have to become very patient and check each angle. For example, the distance from here to here, right? You see it? In relationship to this. How many times does it get into that shape? You can do with the pencil or with the with the measuring stick. That can also help you. But in general, I always suggest to people to trust their eyes a little bit and see where it's a bit off. Because for example, right now, you're not really doing comparative measurements in the way you're doing it from life. It's the same shape as the original. You're trying to get this distance here to be the same distance as here. So comparative measurements is great when you're drawing something, let's say, further away. Like for example, if I will paint Misha that's sleeping over there the same shape, I would have a very small drawing, but my canvas is 40 times 60 centimeters, so I will have to look at her and enlarge her. By enlarging her, I need to keep within certain proportions. The measurements are bigger than I see them. So as soon as I make one line bigger than I see it, the rest has to follow that. Anyways, Marian, Wilhelm, you can continue. What's Torsten saying? Because I haven't checked the chat. Maybe you guys can do it.
It's about the marketing and like that kind of stuff. But
Oh, that you're buying the artist and not the artwork more. Yeah. But also, I mean, there are some behaviors that bother me when it comes to people who say they like my work, right? And I'm not talking about like random people on the internet. I'm talking about wealthy people that I know that have visited my studio and things like that. So they would say like very appreciative things and, like telling me that it's such a pity that this isn't around anymore and blah, blah, blah. but then at the same time they wouldn't invest in it, right?
Yeah.
And my point is like, if you want this to evolve or to stay or to grow, you have to put money in it.
Mm.
It doesn't matter who. Like, I'm not even advocating for myself when it comes to this. Actually, I would advocate to buy the people that are better known, right? Because by pushing them further, you get a larger market sector. Because people would start getting interested in people like me, people like you, Wilhelm, and if the bigger people grow further.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, and that's a big issue right now because we don't really have like we have a lot of people like, oh, I really like this, and they genuinely like it, right? But they don't really feel that it's that valuable.
Yeah, I see.
And it seems like there's a bit of that sheep mentality because
William,
they do believe that a
Marianne,
Picasso is valuable.
Marianne, William actually
that's-
made a very good comparison between Swedish people and Americans. Because, you know, he's getting a lot of people in the studio, and it was one woman that said, why are you selling your artwork for so much? Are you famous? And William is like, do I have to be famous to sell my artwork for what it's worth? And for example, in USA, people are not really that like the Swedish people are. They buy it if they like it. They don't really care if you're famous or not. I'm sure there's Swedish people like that here in Sweden
Yeah,
as well.
because
I mean,
the
I have
reason
some
why
people
is
that
because
purchase
in
my
the
artwork and
USA
are not
people are
famous.
more independent and they don't really care about what institutions think about what they should like.
Yeah.
The problem in Europe is we listen too much to the institutions. So, for example, if you're a collector, you have to collect certain things according to the taste of the advisor or the advisor's knowledge
The
into
emperor.
what is going to grow over the next quarter or over the next couple of years, which is a big problem because it's a very controlled market and it's a very controlled taste, right? So when culture is controlled in this way by a bunch of very selfish interests, it's kind of like
Yes.
it drifts away into chaos slowly but steadily.
You're finally talking about what I wanted you to talk at the beginning on the live stream.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about what you wanted me to talk.
I know,
If
I
you
know.
get what I mean.
I know. Maybe one day.
Not on the street. Those are some sensitive things.
Well, so what do you think it's best for artists to do? So, yeah, I don't know what to say.
Learn how to speak, learn how to write properly, get as verbal as you can, and argue as much as you can for your work.
Mm.
Put as much verbal reference into it as you can. And of course, as better articulated as you can. I think that's the only way forward.
By the way, Torsten, I think the HB pencil will be great for the bargs. So I think people are seeing how much I'm spending time with each individual shapes. Like, look at my drawing and compare it to the original. The nose, for example, is bigger in volume, if I can say volume, or as an abstract shape. It's longer on the horizontal line. If you really look at it, this black shape over here is bigger than the original one. That's what I mean by making yourself more accurate, so you will actually, identify these issues. Yeah, I think HB pencil is actually very nice to draw with. And again, Torsten, you need to be very patient. Like, you don't need to rush this. If it takes you 3 days to finish a bark digitally, it takes you 3 days to finish it. It's not about speed right now. It's about you building up a visual accuracy. So it will become easier for you to build up that speed. Look at me knowing how to speak. Huh? What can I do?
Wow.
It's so lame.
You love me, Maria. Ne 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 ne.
That was like cringe, master cringe.
I try. I try to be cool, but I always fail.
Try to be
Cringe
cool,
master,
but I
teach
always
us the
fail.
way of the great cringe.
The Derwent. Jabro, where is the Derwent?
What?
Aha, here.
Derwent is a pencil brand. It's
a
not
little...
that great.
No, I don't like it digitally either. It feels a bit... Let's see. It's more jaggy. I think I prefer more the HP pen.
Oh, you're talking about a brush. Okay.
Yeah, in a digital zeros and ones. What do you know?
Oh, I'm over all of you. I do digital.
Digitale.
Zeros and ones.
Oh, I see. You still use paper and pencil, I see. Lebian.
Peasant. Wait, you can't be peasant. You're using technology. This is amazing, right? Are we going backwards now?
No,
Oh,
I think
angle it. Let's see. He says that I should angle it.
Handle it.
Ooh. Yeah, but this is when you want to do a lot of shading and shit. This looks really nice, yeah.
That's a nice brush.
Yeah. We will talk about light and shadow, but that's in another stream. How long have I been streaming for? 2 hours and 31 minutes. That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
No.
Now we'll do a 24-hour stream.
I mean, I'm gonna stream until 9, and then I will stop. Because I need to prepare Misha. Oh, Misha. Misha.
So in half a minute, in half an hour. gonna
Oh,
stop.
Misha.
I was like half a minute. I'm like, damn, okay. Let's go.
Yeah, I think I have to go as well in
And how much?
half an hour.
In half an hour, then it's perfect.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
And now I think people can also see how long we actually spend on our work. Like just doing a barg like this takes time. Can you imagine when you're doing like the big drawings? Those
Yeah,
one
I've been
takes like
working
1
on
month.
a bird that is like, I don't know, 5 centimeters. And I've been working for like 5 hours today.
Wow.
Well, I worked way longer than you, so I win.
I never stop working.
You work while you're eating. That's how you do millions.
I work.
I
before
work
was born.
while I'm sleeping, Kyo.
Yeah.
That's the way I roll.
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys sleep, losers.
I dream about art and drawing while I sleep. Beat that, yo.
Yeah.
And how it will ruin my life.
Yeah, it's always a nightmare. Never ends.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Wilhelm, when I go down to Skåne, we're gonna do like this as well, so...
That's nice. Is the mic good, by the way?
What?
I listened to it. I listened to the mic quality on the stream. It sounds pretty good.
Yeah, there's no echo?
Well, no, not that I can hear.
What? That was weird. I mean,
But,
the webcam.
There
the
was at a
webcam.
certain point.
Yeah, in the beginning there was a little bit of echo, but I mean not that.
Yeah, but
major
I
in the
think we will
beginning.
need to buy headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good to have, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, the Patreon right now is going pretty well. So I think I'm gonna save up to buy some headphones for us here.
Webcam has an echo, visual echo. What? Visual
Oh, you mean that is glitchy?
Oh.
Sometimes I feel so stupid when I try to speak English. I have to admit, it's so hard somehow. I don't know why.
15 FPS webcam. Yeah, actually, it is pretty low FPS. Yeah.
No, it worked perfectly fine, that little poop here. But for some reason, it doesn't want to work anymore. I don't know why.
It's yeah.
It's technology. You need to turn it on and off. But it never works, even if you turn it on and off. You can slam it to the ground, and then you go like, fuck, there goes my parents' money for nothing.
People that work with technology all the time, I'm like, how? I feel like, because it's we work during streams. We try to make this work. I'm like, is it just us who have bad luck with technology?
You remember when you came to the studio and I was in flames.
Yeah, you were so angry, and I was so not prepared for it as well. it was so, yeah. Yeah, it was with what was the thing called again?
The Elgato thing.
The Elgato, yeah.
It wasn't fucking working. Sorry for my language.
Whoa.
That's a very satisfied fucking.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my. Are you pissed off? Yes, I am.
I'm telling you.
Why are you so negative, Theo?
Because I'm a whammy.
So next stream, we are gonna do a bathtub stream. Theo is gonna be.
I'm gonna swim like a penguin.
Theo's gonna paint whilst in a bikini, and it's gonna be great. So you better get ready. God, it's like that. You remember that streamer I showed you?
Yeah,
Theo,
you showed me.
That Andan showed me from Bucharest.
Yeah.
The woman who sat and painted in a bikini.
I
with
should do that. I will make so much money if I
Wait,
show my
Georgiana
tits.
asked you a question, Theo.
What was your
Oh.
first impression when you saw Vasile?
I know my first impression.
I didn't see him. He wrote to me on Messenger asking
No,
me...
but she asked a specific question.
Okay.
When you saw him.
I thought that I saw a man with a baby face. I'm not joking. When I saw you, Marian, you had like that worried baby face, but you had that mustache on, I think, or I don't remember if you had the mustache
Yeah.
or you were shaved. But your face, your
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah.
Oh, Marian,
Yeah.
tell them about when we were moving with the car.
What do you mean?
When we were moving and we went to get McDonald's.
Oh, were we gonna do it on
Oh.
stream?
Yeah, of course. They need to know how fun that was.
I think you told that story before in the stream.
We
It's not
did?
the first
Oh,
time.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Torsten is like, tell the story. Let's go.
Oh, okay.
But you have the honors here.
Me? Okay. It will be hard to finish the drawing if I will have to tell the story because I see so many mistakes, but it's hard to focus. So I was moving, thank God, with my brother from a different mother, Marian Vasile. He helped me pack this. No, we were going to IKEA. And before we went to IKEA to buy the bed and everything, we wanted to stop at McDonald's. And McDonald's has something called drive-through. Imagine like the biggest van you can drive with a normal driving license. You know, it's like a big
but
van.
The reason why I said it was my bad is because I said that it would fit, but it didn't.
Oh.
Wait,
I
so
couldn't
what
remember
happened?
that. So when you go through the drive-through, there's a specific cars that can go through a drive-through, and mostly family cars can, not a big van. But we thought it will fit. So you have me, a woman, driving this big-ass van, Marian on the right side, he doesn't have a driving license. We somehow managed to go through. We put our order
But-
and everything. And
But we
then there was
destroyed
a
some
curve.
flowers. 'Cause the thing is,
Marianne, the
Theo-
guy in the back, you remember the guy in the back backed up a little
Yeah,
bit?
yeah. He was so fucking scared. He thought we're gonna go with the van inside his booth or something.
And it's like two Romanians as well. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And then I remember
But we
we were
just
there and we
destroyed some
had to
flowers.
back up somehow because I didn't have enough. So you have like a corner of a building like this, right? And I had to go
Yeah.
around it. And I scratched a bit the car because I had to go back and forth to make more room to be able to take the curb. And the guy that was supposed to hand us the food, he was looking with his mouth open, wondering what the fuck is this bitch doing? And I was like laughing, and I was like, it's fine, we can do this. Backing up, going forward, backing up. And we managed to get out, but I ruined their flowers, the
Did you have to
grass,
pay for it?
everything, because they had like a nice patio. Fuck that patio, there's a woman driving. Make room, bitch. So that was fun.
Did you have to pay for the flowers? or
No,
did
we
you
didn't
just
pay jack shit.
Nah.
We went and ate our McDonald's. That was fun.
Yeah, we went, ate our McDonald's and left.
Oh my god, I'm just imagining this guy being terrified and you're just like laughing, like, ho 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 ho, and just like
Yeah, but that's the thing. Theo was laughing like there was no tomorrow. She
And
was
the-
just like compulsive, like just laughing continuously.
trying
and I
not
was
to
like, what
lose
the fuck,
it."
Theo?
The guy must have thought you were insane, Theo.
And this is one reason women are insane. Don't. Yeah.
No, but Theo was actually stressed, so she was actually laughing from the stress. It wasn't like, but it was very, very weird. Yeah, laughing pretty much like a maniac.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
It
funny.
was very strange.
Oh my god.
Because also you were shaking. if
Yeah,
you
I remember after I got
Yeah.
out, I wasn't shaking during. I shook after because of the adrenaline rush.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
The
I
image in my
managed.
head.
I managed. Huh? I did.
You did. You did.
There you go. I might be a woman, but fuck, we can manage as well. We're not that dumb.
And you got McDonald's as well.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was damn
You
good. I can
almost-
tell you
You
that.
almost destroyed that whole McDonald's building, but you managed.
I got my McDonald's. Doesn't matter. Yum 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 yum. Was good.
Poor fucking guy. Oh my god.
That guy was fucking scared.
Yeah, he
like,
was really
of-
scared.
for his life.
Imagine him getting home from work being like, you have no idea what happened to me today. They're like, well, what happened? It's like, okay, let's start. There's two Romanians in a van. That's the start of the story. Oh my god.
Good times.
Now
Good
one
times.
McDonald's. And
Yeah,
they came to the fucking drive-thru.
And the thing is, like, there was no point in going to the drive-thru because we ate in the parking lot. So we could have went physically there and bought the thing, but
Oh
no.
god.
I wanted the experience of a drive-through, man.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
great.
it's-
I
It's like the
enjoyed
beginning of a
eating
great
those.
joke. Yeah, two Romanians in a van. Yeah. God, I'm telling you, we should like draw comics, like goofy comics about stories like these.
You never get bored with me. That's the thing. It's always
true.
something happening in my life.
Even when we were driving, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's like I was talking to Aaron. Yeah, you can eat very good food. And then because we had to put Wilhelm in the back of the van, so he had to like hold himself. And I was showing Aaron, his girlfriend, like, oh look, that's like a Japanese place where you can buy like Japanese food, a very nice soup, whatever you call it, miso soup, whatever. And
Yeah.
I was driving with 30 per hour. I was going very
Yeah,
slow
yeah,
because I noticed that the traffic in front was slow. And then the car in front of me just stops really aggressively, and instincts, because you know women have very good instincts, anyways, mostly in money. So I stopped really fast, and then Wilhelm in the back, boom, hits himself. I felt so bad. He hit his
And
shoulder.
I remember because imagine this was probably 5 minutes or something after Theo is like, he'll be fine, and just shuts the door on me. They're like, yeah, don't worry about it. And I'm like, what the fuck?
It was fun.
That was a lot of fun, actually.
Torsten, I'm gonna send you this video And also this, what do you call it in English? The Procreate thing. But you guys see, like, I mean, see, let's go to the video and see what the fuck happened. Sorry for my language. Let's see just what happened.
What is happening? Let's go.
So here's when I started dimming down the layer. Like you can see, it's quite high contrast. So you see that all of a sudden it takes longer. The beginning always feels faster. I'm not joking. It's for some reason the sketching in and all of that goes so much faster. And then you get into the meticulous technical stuff, even though I'm doing digital. And if the original drawing on the left, let's say that that's a 100 minutes drawing. What we just learned today, it's very fast. In the lifespan of a drawing, it goes really fast. The foundation of drawing. Funny enough, you constantly have the mindset of drawing and doing the correct shapes and being specific, whatever. But the beginning, let's say, takes around 15 minutes. And then the rest is just technique, right? And constant shifting shapes and forms. That's what I notice when I draw.
No.
And Marianne said that I'm very chaotic when I draw. It's because of that. The foundation goes so fast that I'm able to jump.
I want to say you're chaotic. I kind of like, I'm able to make sense of what you're doing, but it's, I would say for a beginner, it's quite chaotic.
Yeah, for beginners,
So it
that's not good.
depends
You need
who's
to be,
looking.
yeah.
Yeah.
We should
Okay.
try and put the barg you draw over the over the barg the other barg, so people can see all the mistakes.
Oh. So at the beginning, I started chaotic. I started with the eye. This is what the rookie does. This is how they start. I'm not joking. All of them start this way. And there's many mistakes. And then I took it in the way that Marianne and I teach the students. We went to something we call envelope, understanding the big mass before you go to the little masses. And for example, this was also a very good example. For example, the blue thing here that you see in the middle, that's something called a plumb line. So when you work from life, you use that to be able to see verticals and horizontals, height, width, and then you add the third dimension by understanding the depth of things. So here's the actual bark. I started with an envelope, which is the green lines. I have the middle after I design the envelope. The envelope doesn't need to be super perfect. It's just guidelines for you to be able to place your subject onto the layout of your paper or whatever you're
Yeah,
drawing.
but it's better if it's accurate.
It's better if you're accurate, but what I've noticed, you still alter it. So sometimes I'm very careful not to tell students that it needs to be 100% accurate. I tell them it's gonna be 85%. You will still alter it. It's inevitable, because we're not robots in that way.
Yeah, and that is one of the reasons why you shouldn't be so obsessed with small details
At the beginning, yeah.
and in the beginning, because the thing is, if like that's where it will halter you, because getting those tiny percentages at the end is gonna be like, it's like you can obsess over small details and inaccuracies like almost forever. I mean,
But I wanted people to see like the time lapse at the end when I started fiddling around and making it nice. Look how much the time has expanded. It's so interesting to see. It was so fast the beginning, and as soon as you get into making it pretty, like look at the eye, look at his eye. Look how much angular the eye is in relationship to the original.
yeah.
In my drawing, he's almost looking again down. In the original one, he's looking more forward. So the more you practice this, the more you start seeing things and you become more accurate and more accurate. So yeah. I think this is where we should end the stream. I need to also get on the other side of the island. Misha! Hey Misha! Are we ready to go home?
So before you end the stream, I can't do this for you, but I'm gonna make something very easy for you now.
And someone asked at the beginning if this is Oblivion. Yes, it is Oblivion. It's a standard music we listen to.
It is. So, this is a funny thing we can try and do. I'm just looking for someone to raid. Who do you want to raid? Here's someone doing art. Is it cool art? It's Dark Souls fan art. Let's go with that.
Oh yeah, you're doing this.
And I'm gonna write it.
No worries, I'm glad that I could help. Omar, Akse, if you're still there, I'm glad that you guys are coming back to the stream. Torsten, I hope this will help a lot. I will keep helping you with your iPad and maybe gently get you into it as I did with Anders. Because Anders was the same like you. I just asked him, like, just come to the studio. I think it was Marianne that told him to just come to the studio, and then we just started drawing together.
Oh yeah, I
He's-
can post money.
It's nice to see Omar.
Anyways, so when you want to raid, just slash
They picked
raid
Georgiana.
space that name I posted. Shen. what is it?
Wilhelm.
Shen? Yeah.
Are you coming tomorrow?
Tomorrow to the studio. I'm gonna come on.
Because I will not see you until I come back from Skåne.
Oh, then we'll probably not see each other.
Okay, it's fine. I know you don't miss me that much. Okay, everyone.
Oh no!
Go to bed, everyone. Talk to you guys next time when I have the stream down in Skåne on Thursday. I will try to keep it all the time on Thursdays, just that I booked the car on the wrong day. Oops. Okay. Take
Anyways,
care, everyone.
Do the raid thing. Don't forget to do the raid thing.
Me? How do I do it?
So you go into chat, Twitch chat.
Glad
and
you like
do-
it, Joe.
And
I
you
don't wanna
do
it.
slash raid, and then you can take space and then
It's
the
too
name.
complicated. My brain is fried. Can I do it some other time?
No, I can type it for you if you want.
Okay.
You have to do it like this. So like that, you do it like that, and then you have a slash in front of the raid. That's all you need. Copy paste this, and then have a slash in front of the raid. And then
Twitch,
you're done.
right?
This, and then you will get a timer, and then when the timer, I think when the timer
Twitch,
reaches
right?
0, you can just press raid now.
Where do I go?
Have you typed it?
Where should I type it?
In Twitch chat.
Oh. Sorry guys, just wait a bit on me. And then you can go. I'm trying. Control V?
Yeah, and then you have a slash in front of the raid. So
It
it's like a
didn't
command-
work.
It's like a command in World of Warcraft.
Where do I write it? In the search bar?
No, in the message thing. Where
Where
send
message
in the
thing?
chat. In the chat.
I can't do this. I'm too tired to think. Where do I go?
Yeah, exactly like that. Twishton did it.
In what chat?
In the Twitch chat.
Come on, Theo.
Come on, it's
Fuck
it's
my
not
life. Why am
So
I
go
not
in-
signed in? Wait, I'm not signed in.
Twitch.
Oops.
Oh my god. Twitch.tv slash.
Wait, let me
What?
log in first. Okay, log in. Fuck,
What
I
an
needed
ending.
some kind of token. Enter the code found in your SMS.
This is great.
Wait, stop laughing, everyone. Fuck you guys. Okay, remember this.
I thought, yeah.
Five, Asha, la la la.
Yeah, that's it.
Stop laughing.
This is why people should stay till the end of the stream, because it's always the best parts. are always-
Okay, I'm in. Now what do I do?
This is some laid back raid, yeah, definitely, yeah. Anyways, and then
channel?
now you post what Torsten did without this quotation mark. Yeah, exactly, bloopers. Exactly. Anyways, and then now you post what Torsten did.
Did I do it?
Quotation mark. Yeah, exactly, bloopers. You typed it in chat? And then you have a little on the upper
Oh,
right.
there, I did it.
And then you press raid now when the timer is done.
I
And then
something.
you
8
take it.
viewers are ready to blah blah blah.
Yeah, exactly. And then
I
the
did
timer
it.
goes down. And then you press raid. And then when the timer reaches, I think when the timer reaches 0 or something, you can press a button that said raid now.
Oh,
Can't you?
did it work?
Yeah, it worked.
Oh, cool.
And now the stream is off, by the way. That's another.
Is it off?
I think so.
It's still going.
I'm
Is it?
such an idiot. Is it still going or not?
I don't know.
Okay, whatever. If someone is on the radio,
It's not going. It's not
Bye.
going. It's not going